Hello everybody and welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about something that is very near and dear to my heart, and I'm sure very near and dear to all of you, and that is growing pains of us. What are we? The nerds and the geeks. Our group, our people, what we are, who we are. So geeks and nerds and geeks, these are terms that we hear all the time, but one thing that we really need to ask ourselves is, what do they mean? I mean, why do we use them? And it's actually really interesting. The definition of a geek specifically began really similarly to that of a court jester in the Middle Ages, where they would be called geeks. And it even continues today to various carnival performers. But now, as we all very painfully know, it's a really nasty, hurtful slang term for what are known as disliked intellectuals. And obviously it hurts, but nerd, on the other hand, is more about social ineptitude, and it is really similar to that of geeks. But primarily nerd focuses on non-mainstream interests such as academics, technology, things of that nature, whereas geek is more along the lines of things like fandoms, comic books, all of that kind of stuff. But one of the things about this is something that I'm really proud of, and in recent years both of these terms have really come and been reclaimed. And now, instead of being hurtful disparages of people like us, they're really prideful boasts. You're proud. You want to be a nerd and a geek. You're not just some poor young kid running into cover in a corner in your school or having sand kicked in your face on the playground. Geeks and nerds are needed today, and we aren't to be shunned, but rather celebrated for our ability to get things done, and not only that, but do it very well. That's all in good, but what does it mean in terms of now? What about stereotypes, nerds and geeks? A lot of people just think that we're strange people and we just spend all of our lives in our parents' basements just playing video games, Dungeons and Dragons, watching weird TV shows from Japan, and maybe occasionally electrocuting ourselves while tinkering with the family electronics. I mean, is fantasizing about being in the lands of the books that we read really such a bad thing? Or wanting to be in some of the games that we play, the shows that we watch? Going to all these conventions, and you just know that you need that one last comic book so that you can complete all of your collection. Or maybe you just want to show off your newest cosplay. Perhaps they're simply the people who are just spending a little bit more time reading. You spend just a couple minutes more reading a textbook, or even just a regular book. Just because we want to know. We're curious. We strive to get intellect. We strive to get knowledge. We strive for all of these things. And we're just driven by this curiosity to know things, and nerds and geek, we simply have a desire to gain knowledge, and more importantly, to apply it to our and other people's lives. We aren't simply people who just sit around and play games or sit at computers all day. We're just people. And we just enjoy different things than a lot of people. We really enjoy things. We love our games, we love our shows, our science, our fandoms, simply being who we are, and more importantly, being proud of it, and just doing what makes us happy. We love our games, we love this, we just love it. And, I mean, it's unfortunate because in our society, we're mocked by our peers, or so-called peers in schools. We're constantly brought down to the lowest level that is inhabitable by humans, driven into the arms of our passions just so that we can get away from the social stigmas, even for a night, even for an hour. just something where we fit in and we're proud to be ourselves. It's unfortunate because it hurts. It hurts, it stings like pins and needles. But we know that it's simply because we aren't understood. It's not that we're better or worse, it's just that we're different. We might not like to talk to people, so we don't talk to people. We might not really fit in, so we don't pretend that we do. For many people here in not only our society, but in the vast majority of the world, different is bad. Any different is bad. Different is weird, and it needs to be exploited and mocked to the greatest extent possible. Just be it that, you're the study partner, or you're just the weird guy who everybody makes fun of so that they can fit in. Again, it hurts, but we know that eventually it'll pay off for us. We know that at some point, maybe far, far down the line, years later, we'll find that one place where we really belong, where we truly fit in with people like us, who think like us, who feel like us, and who do the things that we do. We know that. And not only that, but everything that everyone enjoys, most of that's due to people like us. Video games, that's us. Latest smartphone, can't have that without some knowledgeable people. How about diseases that get cured? Any sort of scientific research. You can't have scientific research without people who care about science. And that's us. In the end, the point is that we're just people, just like anyone else. Just because we don't like the same things that some other people do, dress the same way, or simply don't fit in, doesn't mean that we aren't like everybody else in the most important ways. You look at us and say, why do you spend so much time playing games, watching your weird shows, dressing up in weird costumes, and talking about technology? Why are you so weird? Well, we simply say we enjoy our games, our logic, our reasoning, our calculations. We live to make the unknown known, to be the best at what we do, to have fun and meet the wonderful people who share all of our views during that time. It isn't about us being cool. It isn't about us getting credit or money or anything like that. It's about sharing and exploring our knowledge with others in different ways. It's about just being our own community and being happy about it. We are nerds, we are geeks, and I personally am more than happy to say that I am one. Thank you very much. Nerds are taking over the world, and it's going to be awesome.